Hello and happy Friday. Happy Friday. My light was red and I started talking. Oh, can you tell it's haircut day? Seriously, haircut day. Oh my gosh. This week has been super busy in all the spaces. I haven't made as much progress with my housing research as I wanted, but I have started. My now thought is to compare the Baltimore housing laws with the Boston housing laws and see why this scam didn't work there. My other thoughts are I have some ideas that I want to look into as far as protections inside of the Baltimore City housing laws. So I need to see if they exist first. If they do exist, who is fulfilling the checks and balances? If those things aren't put in place, that needs to be put in place. So some of the things I've been thinking, let's see. So I have some, let's see. So I feel like as far as property managers or landlords, there should be some kind of criteria about becoming someone that has more than one entity. I think that, that first 6 months to a year, as you're becoming a new property manager or landlord, you should only be able to have so many homes, maybe 4. And at the end of that period, if all 4 of those homes pass go, then you can go on the next year to acquire more. And then maybe after a 3 or 5 year period of continuously keeping up with chunks of like 4, 8, 20, then you could go on to looking into the amounts of numbers like 100, 500, or 1,000. But it makes no sense that someone could be a brand new property manager or a brand new lawyer, go from never doing this to then having the responsibility of 1,000 homes. That's nuts. That makes no sense. How could one... That would have to grow and continuously build. So I think that there needs to be some kind of protection around that. How quickly they amass, the checks and balances. As much... I used to do... So they have such thing as secret shoppers for stores, for all sorts of businesses. And I think like that, like the random drug testing for a workplace, I think that property managers, landlords should have random site testing, auditing, where someone, a third-party entity, truly a third-party entity, is reaching out to the tenant. Are you satisfied? Have things been the way the plan is? Is this meeting your lease? And then at that point, if everything is good, that person continues to level through to become a tenant landlord person. Also, at those moments, we can check if someone's needs aren't being met, if someone isn't getting what they have asked from their landlord person. We could then have like a space for mediation to try and help round that up so it doesn't have to go into further legal action. And then the next thing is, if the property manager or landlord person isn't willing to satisfy what is necessary for one home, all of their properties should sort of be frozen in time, meaning they cannot evict anyone from those properties. I kind of believe it could be up to the individual renting and the property manager enter law to decide if rent is still to be collected in that window, because it sort of feels like you're invalidating your renter's license. Without a renter's license, you cannot collect rent or serve an eviction. So if you're not keeping up with the code, you can't play the game. That just seems easy to me. It's wild to me that I was in court and I spoke my case about Better Management, who is fraud. And then after I left, more people kept going through with cases. The judge something should have said, wait, if Better Management is doing this at all, anywhere, even to one home, froze. All these cases dismissed. Because fraud is fraud. If you're willing to be fraudulent with one place, you are willing to be fraudulent with many. Hey, baby, do you need me?
Can I go across?
Yeah. God. All good? So, that's my idea for that. As far as, I've also been thinking that it's funny that I'm learning about this sort of trading names thing that's been happening between these fraudulent property managers, entities, people, wannabe businesses, where they're sort of trading names back and forth. I think that kind of like another offender registry, if you do that, you get put on a blacklist. You can't participate in housing anymore. If you're willing to fuck with someone's home, you don't get to do it. It should be taken as seriously as medicine. It should be taken as seriously as anything else that is as serious as where we live. I don't think many things outside of our health and our finances are as important as our home. So I feel like it just needs to be held to a little bit higher of a standard. A lot higher of a standard. I have to check in the laws. I have been reading, and it looks like there are laws about tenants requesting services and already being protected from retaliatory evictions and fees. I've already sort of looked in that. That's in place. I'm wondering if there isn't already a support line or outreach line for a tenant to call and get advice without the potential retaliatory energy at all, just for asking. Like, I wonder if that already exists. That's another thing that I think would be really important. My long-term goal is, how many homeless people live in Baltimore? How many empty houses do we have in Baltimore City? What would it take to create the space, entity? It's all there. The work is there. The money is there. The people are here. All of it is here. If people have a space to live and can safely live and feed themselves and take care of their health and well-being, they're able to take care of everything better around them. They're able to love their homes. They're able to love their neighborhoods. They're able to love their life. People cannot do better for themselves when they are not even sure what tomorrow looks like. And I think I know my longer term goal, mission, is to see that the balance is there. It makes no sense in my brain why there's so many empty houses and so many people without a home. As a person who has been working her ass off these past few years to get stable housing for me and my 3 children, as a person who came from I grew up in one house for like the first 17 years of my life. That now feels like a luxury to say out loud. I can't give that to my kids. We've probably moved 8-10 times since I've been a mom. And I'm kind of here in this space now, being still a person who needs to provide housing and wants housing, bless you. Being a person who doesn't have parents to go home to anymore. Talking to other people with and without children who are in this mix. And it's hard for me and for anyone to expect people to be able to secure employment and to reach for better, study in their education and build their skills, bless you, when it's so uncertain about where we get to live. And I have written down many ways of sort of starting to tie that together so it's something that makes sense. I know when some people hear that, bless you, they hear, oh, you want to give free things. Yes and no. I believe that humans deserve a place to live. Humans deserve to be able to feed themselves. And humans should be able to see a doctor to take care of their life. We're so hell-bent on seeing unborn babies be born into this world, and it really feels like we dropped the ball once we're here. So that all needs to come together. But my first issue, the first most important thing is this housing. And now that I've shared my sort of nuggets, some of it's been reiterations of last time, bless you, I have talked with a woman that is also doing all this. She's already been doing all this. She's been involved with this for a couple of years. She actually has crossed paths with one of my name changers. And she has 90 pages of evidence against this person. That's kind of where the blacklist idea came from. We're sharing this idea of being in person at the courthouse to help advocate, support, empower renters, tenants up for eviction. I keep thinking back to the day when I first realized that I was going to get an eviction letter and thinking, I'm just going to get evicted then. And it just felt like I just will have to give up then. And it wasn't honestly until my son told my neighbor and she had a conversation with me that I was able to sort of hear it all back and realize, wait, that doesn't actually sound fair. Hold on, maybe there is just one more moment. And from that minute, things have gotten exponentially better. And my situation is not going to be the same as yours, but I know that I am not alone in this 500 to 1,000 plus home scam. So, and I also know that I'm not alone in this relationship with our housing in Baltimore City. And I would say wherever you are in this dynamic, shut those doors, dear. Yeah, can you get it out and shut the door? Yeah. So wherever you are with that dynamic, do not skip your appointments. Show up to the appointment, speak, share your case, request more time. If you're not sure what to do, reach out to me. If you're not sure about the things, reach out to the Baltimore Renters Association. Reach out to Odette Ramos. Reach out to Paris Gray. Do not just let it go. You have a leg to stand on, maybe two. I went to my case, and not only was I prepared to not lose, but the case was thrown out simply because of a date. And mine wasn't the only one that was thrown out because of a date, which also compiled my frustration when I realized they're still prosecuting better management, fraudulent, and they got bad dates, fraudulent. These people may have just been thrown out. These people may have avoided eviction or even gotten themselves 20, 30 more days if they would have just shown up. So don't skip your appointments. Talk to somebody. Especially and lastly, and not at all for the last, but in addition to what else we've been talking to, the woman that I've been speaking to, and I'm not sharing her name because she hasn't offered that I can, and I just don't want to do that. But she is a part of a group that meets, I want to say monthly, hopefully at least monthly, with people invested, interested, and into this housing situation. People from all corners of our Baltimore City, people like lawyers, licensing people, regulations, all sorts of people, legal people. And so I'm excited to be joining in on those meetings and seeing what else we can do for like actual helping people now, notifying people still, because I know still people don't know, helping them figure out what they have a right to do, and giving them the peace of mind that I guess it hasn't been approved, that we haven't gotten approval on the 6-month eviction freeze. And I get that. I know things take time. And I only have barely 50, maybe 50 signatures on the petition. Don't care. There's 500 to 1,000 city homes. I don't care if no one signed that petition. I think it should be expedited, signed, sealed, delivered. And I want for everyone that's a part of this to just know that it's not being neglected. It's not being left upon. You're not forgotten. It's worth speaking up for yourself. It's worth reaching out and seeing what's available to you. And if nothing else, you're worth the time to get a new safe home. You shouldn't have shoulds or shit. You shouldn't have to be in your mind scrambling and flailing and flipping out. And maybe there is still more time. So reach out and ask the questions. I haven't actually even checked to see if Real Property Search is back up. Odette has offered to check addresses. She can also check, this was my other thought, she can also check the property manager to see if they have the legal licensing. However, what's happening? Oh, okay. You okay? However, please make sure that doesn't happen again. However, the woman that I've been talking to at the Rental Association Connection, and who's also been going through this 2 years, has seen falsified documents. So now my wonder is Odette pulling up this reference and it says in the system, but it's not an authentic document. So now my next wonder thought is, how do we just check that? How do we check the documents and verify them? I know there's a way. I just haven't figured that out yet. But those are my last thoughts. Mostly just don't not stand up for yourself. Don't not protect yourself. My home, my personal space that I do not want to lose, I don't want to leave, is up for an auction on May 7th. And I want the universe to buy me this house. So that's where my brain is, in addition to all of these other things. It's like, please give me this house and thank you. Either the winning lottery ticket or a happy person that's wanting to buy and rent to me. I'll take it either way. I just don't want to go. I'll see you later, guys. Have a great rest of this Friday. And if you have any questions about anything I shared, please feel free to reach out so that I can help you connect all the dots. Bye-bye.